The King's Weaver, Chapter 5. The Common Room. Today and these next weeks are as much a trial of your skills as of your discretion. To hold the position of court mage is to hold a position of power in this court. I will personally not recommend any mage who shows less than ideal discretion. Nikolai opens his mouth again and freezes as Master Aldrich skewers him with a look that is definitely not kind. That includes any mage born of any station, the Master says mildly. This is a court in transition. There are many whispers about the death of the late king, most of which are not true. But just because something isn't true doesn't mean it isn't dangerous. You would all do well to guard your actions, to only and ever be as upright as you can be. Any indiscretion, any, will be counted against you. His gaze lands back on me, and I know the other candidates note this. I do my best to hide my own growing temper, which has also never been ladylike. I save Nikolai and possibly everyone in the whole throne room if Nikolai's magic had been allowed to explode. But I did something unexpected, and I showed, gods, that's what this is about. I showed I have power. I showed that I not only could contain the explosion of another powerful weaver, but diffuse it entirely, before Master Aldrich had a chance to do it himself. Or my arms and neck prickle with heat. What if Master Aldrich couldn't have done it himself? I'd assumed with his position at court that Master Aldrich would surely be more powerful than I am. But what if he's just a very good politician? There are elementalists in my mother's court who could hardly light a candle. A single weaver, if powerful enough, can rewrite reality. Not usually in large or lasting ways, but it is possible. What if the king wasn't angry with me? What if that fear I saw was him marking me as a threat? And what will happen if I do decide I'll marry him, if he finds out that his wife is a powerful weaver? I only barely listen as Master Aldrich goes on to give us each the assignment of our quarters. We will blessedly each be given our own room. I'll be safe at night when my illusion drops. I can make an illusion linger after I'm asleep, but it's not as stable. And I've been worried about having to bunk with another, well, a man. But my thoughts through this dry speech are on my magic. I've never really tested it against anyone else. At first, because I taught myself in secret, but then because my mother forbade it. I know I'm a strong weaver. I know I'm good and solid in my willpower. Humility has never been one of my particular strengths. But I never thought that I might step into the Borellin court and be the strongest weaver here, or maybe the strongest mage at all. No other mage had been able to diffuse Nikolai's magic. I don't know whether to be excited about this or terrified. My body, with my sweaty palms and racing heart, settles on terrified. As the mage candidates file out to go find their quarters, Master Aldrich calls me aside. I glance over my shoulder at the other candidates. Nikolai is still hovering. He has, thankfully, turned toward the fire to brood, but I have the absolute sense that the back of his head is still glaring at me too. I want to train you, Caleb, Master Aldrich says as I approach. I blink, because this isn't what I expect. I expect a reprimand at very least, or more likely, that overdue dismissal. You are one of the most promising weavers I've seen at this court. But with the willpower you displayed, you should have been disciplined enough to know that I would have diffused that situation if you'd only waited a moment more. I bite my lip, then remember, that's not what a man like Caleb would do, and so square my shoulders instead. Nikolai hadn't had a moment. In another moment, he would have been dead. But I nod, because if I've made enemies today, I can certainly make allies too. I would be honored, Master Aldrich. I bow my head, and he nods graciously. He expected no other response. Good. Then take this book. He produces a thick tome and hands it to me. I glance at the cover and feel my face heat. It's a guide to court etiquette. I've read this book before, but Caleb Allen likely wouldn't have, being the village mage that he is. Is this a test? Does Master Aldrich see something in me that he shouldn't? But I take the book and bow again. Thank you, Master Aldrich. I will study this tonight. His smile is grandfatherly now, and I don't like it. There's too much condescension there. And does he realize that I might be more powerful than he is? Of course he does. Have I just made a friend or another enemy? He dismisses me with a wave and calls over Nikolai. Nikolai bumps hard into me as we pass, his shoulder checking mine. I might not be used to physical aggression, but I absolutely see the fight he wants to pick now. My shoulder stings from the blow, but I look down, ignore his provocation. Nikolai doesn't look at me either, as if he's decided I'm beneath his notice. I'll need to be careful. Nikolai's mistakes as a noble mage won't count the same as Caleb's as a village mage. I'm starting to regret saving his life.